Okay, now that we're going down the series of emails, and I'm basically what I'm doing is I'm walking you down the lane of leaving your particular situation. And I'm going to tell you a problem that I've seen a lot of people have had. No, I'm not saying this is your problem, but I've seen this. That problem, hear me out on this one, is consistency. Some of you right now have attempted to go to the gym on a regular basis, and you were strong for the first 2 weeks. Then all of a sudden, it felt more like a task and it kind of became boring to you. And then you just didn't feel like doing it anymore. But you still talk to your friends and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and lose some weight and be different. I can tell you right now, for some of you, consistency is going to be the hardest part. It is. It's going to be hard for you because you're going to have to learn. And I didn't know this at the beginning when I first started out. You're going to have to learn to make your life boring. Now, some of you must say, hey, I don't want to have a boring life. That's not what I'm saying. You see, once you find out what works in life, you stick with it. There's no need to change because it works. I mean, think about it. If you've been doing something for 6 months and it's a certain routine of just maybe working out and, combined with eating right, vegetables and water, the right supplements, going to the gym 5 times a day, you stop drinking, smoking, you became a health nut, and all of a sudden you started seeing veins in your arm and you became more muscular, and all of a sudden people just started looking at you different and say, hey, that person is changing. Would you go back to your old ways and think that you're still going to be making those same changes? No. So that's why you have to make it boring. I've used this analogy before on my channel about the cologne. If you find a cologne that works and you start smelling good and people give you compliments and you say, hey, this cologne goes with my body chemistry, why would you keep going out buying different cologne? And then it doesn't work and trying to find it again and back and forth. Right? So you have to hear me out on this one. Stay consistent. You have to. Because it's the only way to get where you want to go, because nothing comes overnight. I want to repeat that. Nothing comes overnight. A lot of people want that microwave culture. They want people to just kind of, hand them something real fast, or they want to win the lottery. Nothing worth doing is going to come fast because you have to become what you want. You see, you want to become that person that is bumping their head and making mistakes and learning from the mistakes, because if you were blessed with $1,000,000, you have to learn to be able to control that money and be able to keep that money. So you have to grow to a certain level in order to keep it. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when you start your routine, as far as waking up in the morning, doing what you have to do, start off with your routines and getting to where you want to go, you got to be consistent with it. You got to tell yourself, it's working. I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to wake up in the morning and guess anymore like I used to. That's my plan. So I'm going to leave you with that. And you keep an eye out for those emails, because I'm giving you step-by-step processes to help you. Now, if you want to go ahead and say, look, I'm ready to get this thing going, join the mastermind. That's where we'll hold you accountable and ask you some of those hard questions that you don't want to hear. But somebody needs to tell you, and somebody needs to ask you those questions. So, like I said, when you see these emails come in, click on them. They will save your life. Take care.